Alright ladies, this is Constance with Charming Custom Crafts, and right now you don't see me in front of my phone right now, which I'm recording on, because I'm going to grab some things, and I said that I'd do a little lesson real quick, so I'm going to grab some scrap white, because I said that I would teach a little lesson here, and I want to go ahead and teach this, and it's the swap I had with Sonia. This is the MISTI. And this is one of those tools that I swear by. So I have this little piece of paper here. And I got to find my stamp. I pulled out a box of stamps. And you're going to see on those ladies that are following my D-stashes, you're going to see some of these come up in my D-stashes. Because I stamp me off one or two here and there, and then I'll sell them because I don't need them all. That one I have to cut up. I haven't cut up all of them yet. You know how you get them and they're not all technically like there, you know. How about this? I wonder if I have some scraps on here. Probably do. So this one is Some Odd Girl. And I haven't taken it out, so you're going to get a chance to see me literally take it out and use this. I have my Stays On ink, and we're shooting by the hip. I thought, well, maybe I should go down here now and pull out a scrap piece of white here. Because I know I went over to my scrap section, and I hate to go all the way back there for a small section of white. Okay. I think I found a piece. Ta-da! Ta-da! Alright, so I have this sitting here, and I was amazed. I've had all these blocks, and I kept two, and that's my really big one that's Fisker's, and then my little one that's Martha Stewart, which is, actually it's right here, so let me see if I can pull my tray, or scoot one. I do have this one. So I have this one, and then the very big Fisker's one, which I may eventually get rid of, because this MISTI's is, I gotta say, there are tools that I have learned over the years that, especially over the last couple years, because after buying all the stuff that I bought, I have to tell you, I'm going to just leave the magnets. They do come with magnets, but they're really strong. And you'll see later what I have it to. I want to show you this. This is one of those tools. I wouldn't say it's essential, but there are things that I will tell you from all these years that I think are worth the extra money, instead of investing on little things here and there. So this is the MISTI, okay? The MISTI is a plastic cover. It already has the grid lines, and you're going to see videos on this. And I know that you can find it, but I don't think anybody just talks. And I've used this a couple times, and I am absolutely in love with it because I was hesitant about it. She asked me if I wanted to trade for the mints, and I'm like, no, because then I have to buy more stuff. I don't know what that is, probably tape. But I told her, I said, she's like, oh, do a lesson. I don't know if y'all caught that on some of the D-stash. She's like, oh, Constance, you got to do a lesson on it. It's fabulous. On the back is foam. The whole back is foam, and you get extremely strong magnets, which works on what I have in front of me. So it stays up and out of the way, which I will get to. There are things that I'm a huge fan of. And I like I said, I have bought things from the beginning to the end and what I could afford. And I have now learned that it's worth buying certain things after these things. And once I show you some of these things that I have, you'll totally understand why I say to spend the money. This runs, for this is the large one, it runs about $50, $55. If you can find it some of the stores, I don't know if you can, but catch the stuff on sale. I love this thing. And here's the word, MISTI. I had a cat named Misty, just like that. Anyway, so you open it up. When you open it, you can still see the grid lines over here. And it's got great hinges here. It does come with these grid papers that you can use in here for extra grid lines to make sure you're lined up perfect. And of course you can see the rulers, okay? It goes to 8 inches, it has the metric fourth, and it has 8 inches, or eighth of an inch, a fourth of an inch, obviously on here, fourths and eighths. So, and then this part is the same foam that's on the back. There is acrylic around the sides, and you'll see why. I don't really need this, but I just leave it here so I don't have to deal with it. Now, the thicker ones, if you're going to use like the red rubbers, you won't need, matter of fact, you can take this foam off too. When you do red rubbers, you don't need this foam. And it's already got the built-in grids here, okay? But if you're using just the clear polymers, you're going to need this piece. And I just leave this here. You don't have to, but I do. So now you guys are going to get to see me shoot by the hip and just show you how easy this is and why after me and Sonia made a swap. I mean, I know she's seen it, but I walked into this, never saw a video on it ever, and I just sat down and I'm like, holy cow. So again, this is Some Odd Girl. What's her name? Does she have a name? I know she does. This is Wishes, okay? She is Wishes. My daughter's birthday is coming, so I'll just, not that I don't have a bunch of things that are already printed off or stamped off. I have 3 photo boxes of stuff that I have stamped off from all the stuff I've had over the years. Plus I have a stack of paper about this big. Like I said, a lot of the destashes I do, I ended up with so many stamps that I was like, oh, I'm just going to stamp it out, you know, a couple times and I'm done with it. And that's the bonus with having too much and spending too much. So we're just going to go, we're going to start with Wish Girl, the little fairy girl. And I'm a huge fan of, I love Some Odd Girl, but one of the things I don't like about Some Odd Girls is the fat legs. So a lot of times that if I buy these, you don't see the legs, or you only see a little piece of it. So what I'm going to do, and this is like the coolest part to me, I'm going to do it on the whitest piece. Okay? So it's like really easy. This is going to go, oh my God. So here we got this right here. Super simple. I just stuck it in the corner. I'm just stamping her. So I'm going to line her up anywhere I want, right? Just right there. She looks pretty good in the middle. Now all I'm going to do is close this. Smash it down a little bit, and guess what? Now even if this paper comes up with her, it doesn't matter. Okay? You just stick it back in here. Not a problem, right? Then I'm going to take my ink over here. I'm going to push, I got to pull my cutting board. I have to flip it. Either I have it, because I have to show you my cutting board. I know I have a video on my cutting board. I love this thing. It's self-sharpening. I do have 2 cutting boards. I'll have to show you why eventually. So it's super simple, right? See, I already lined the paper back up. Here's the thing. You can always line it back up with the grid, and she's already on. And if anything, if you can line it back up with the grid, you're going to be able to smack it down several times, and it's going to be absolutely, I kid you not, perfect. So I'm just going to take my Stays On ink, and I'm just going to rub across her. Tap her just a little bit. Rub across again. Tap again. So if you guys ever wonder how I do my stamps, there you go. Now she's already wet. I love the smell of this stuff. I love the smell of my Stays On. It's kind of like an addictive candy thing, like with the scent markers. So I'm just going to pull it over, and I'm going to go ahead and just lay her down. You don't have to smash it that hard, but just the idea of it. Now she's going to stick to it because she's a polymer and she hasn't been used in a while. Oh, now, see, this is a good thing that I'm showing you this, okay, because she's never been stamped before. Here's the bonus, and this is another thing. So this is why I like to do videos at the seat of my pants. So I just put her right back over here. She's already on there. I'm going to put more ink, and you guys will now see why I sometimes keep ink on it, because it fills in all those little gaps and doesn't make it so sticky. And I'm going to put a little more on her. Just tap it again. I'm going to go back and flip her. This is why I like to do this. So she's good to go. I'm going to put it right back. Make sure she's cornered. I'm going to put it right back down, right? We're going to put it right back down. She's probably going to stick again, which she did. And I'm going to pull it off. And she's there. Now, because she still didn't do it, we're going to do it again, because not all of her eyes are showing either. So I'm just going to stick it back. See, this is the great thing. You get to see why. And I'm going to put a little extra around her front, because it's right around her shoulders. And that's all I really want to put it anyway. So, I mean, if you're doing different colors, imagine, or you're doing dimensional stamps, these are just amazing. So I'm going to get it right back again. Make sure she's center in the corner. And push her down a little more in the middle. And that's the reason why the foam is there for the clear polymers. Then, of course, she'll probably stick. Let's see if I don't get her perfect this time. See, that's damn close. I'm pretty happy with that, right? See how nice it is? I don't care if it does. It's around her wings. So I'm done with her. So, I mean, she's done, right? So I'm just going to stick her over for now. Okay, guys. So I did stop the video long enough for me because I wanted to pull out the foam. Because if you're doing a rubber stamp, and I pulled out a Magnolia one that's already got foam on it, you can leave this on here if you want, but you have to worry about it. And I'm going to see if I can, let me measure it, see if I can get this exactly the same. I'll try both ways so that you guys can see this. So I'm going to pull him up. And if you notice what I'm doing, I'm measuring. But see, this is where the paper comes in. Again, if you want to do it this way, you can always print these out. But I'm going to show you with the foam first, and I'm going to line it up right at the 1 mark. Okay, I'm going to line it right at the 1 mark. This is how great it is. Now, I'm going to pull it up just a little bit. I'm going to put it at 1.5, or here at about 1/2 inch. And he's got ink on him, so let me pull it this way because I already got ink on the paper. Because he's got ink on him. So I'm going to go to 1. My paper may not be exact. I'm going to go to 1/2 inch. And then I'm just going to go down, pick him up, and I'm going to show you why you can do it with and without the foam. So, see, he's already, because I've already had a little ink on him. So he's already got a little ink, so he's got the outline there. And this is why the MISTI is so popular and one of the greatest hits. This was at Chaw. This was the big product. I have another product that was the big product here a couple years ago. So was the machine that I had, and I thought, oh, well, if I get rid of my, I got rid of my Silhouette a long time ago, and then I got the Cricut. I want to make sure this is lined up right. If it's not lined up right, and again, this is where you can use a piece of tape. Again, and I want to share that with you because I want you to see you can go either way, but there's an advantage and disadvantage. Now, I did get ink on it before, so see how he doesn't always get into it because of the foam. But I'm going to try it again and get that in a little bit more. Again, he's a new stamp. I inked him right before, and I wanted to try both ways because I haven't tried totally both ways. I know how it's supposed to go. So I'm going to go back. And I'm going to lay it down again. Put a little more pressure on. I sound like an idiot. There we go. See how nice he is? That is good enough. Magnolia doesn't always have the best lines anyway. So I wanted to do, because I want to do just his head. But, you know, you can always cut him out and stamp him the way you want anyway. So I wanted to show the other way. I'm trying to find another scrap piece. My floor is so dirty because I've been cleaning up paper and shredding. And this is a thin piece, but it'll be fine. I'll have to use cardstock. Now this is where you can take the paper off. And now see, I know that I went 1.5. So if I put him right at the 1 line, see, we know he's at the 1 line. I only have to move him. Now I'm standing up. I want to make sure I really get into him because maybe it's because I was sitting down. It probably was. Again, don't use StazOn or acrylic cleaner on this. And just a little soap and water. Now here's a perfect thing that you don't have the stuff. And see, this is why you don't have to rub it on, but I do just in case. Now this is without the foam. Now either way, depending on whether it's a new stamp or not, or you're putting enough pressure or enough ink. Here's the bonus. Like I said, you get to flip it as many times as you want as long as you keep it lined up. You can always tape it down, especially on this acrylic part. So, you know, we know that he was having a problem down here, so. See, I don't think people show the boo-boos. And I'm a firm believer, just like any stamp here, you need to, see, it still does the same thing. But the one thing about this, and again, that's because I probably didn't get enough pressure on. And he's a little blurry now because I probably moved him. I should have put a piece of tape down. So, let's try it again. Anyway, the point being is that you can keep stamping down and he's not blurry. That's the coolest thing about him. Not just about him, but the MISTI in general. I know this sounds like a stupid video, but I said I wanted to share some of my products, some of my supplies that I swear by. And I already got one good perfect one. I'll probably use both of them and ink the outline. But this is why I said I wanted to share some of the products, and I'm super glad that I swapped with Sonia. But I'm going to show you how I store these until I can put them in a CD case. Since I already know what he is, and I don't want to put ink on that paper because I'm really anal about wanting to do over. Now you can do it this way so you can see him, and then he'll stick to that. Or you can flip them the other way because you already got the name to it. So usually I put a sample down over it so you guys can see that until I can get to my CDs. I still use my CDs. I have more to clear out on those. But this is my MISTI. This is like the greatest because you guys know with the acrylic block you can line it up all you want, and you may not if it slides, and it will. So if you can see it wiggle, you're not going to get it. You're going to get movement. And even with the acrylic block, your fingers don't get on. They were made, and that's a Martha Stewart one, they were made to quote unquote be a little more stable with your fingers, but it wiggles. This doesn't wiggle. I mean, if you want to use tape and tape it down, I would suggest that. And just take your paper down, and that way it stays where you want it to put it. And I can clearly show that, but you get the concept of it. And I wanted to show you the differences between the two. But I'm a huge fan of this, and there is what I think is one of the greatest tools out there. And when you're looking at stamping and you become just a simple card maker, and these can be very easily simple card makers, and that's the greatest thing because you can always take the red rubber off the blocks, off the wood blocks, and you can go down and do all different kinds of things and in different colors, and then color it in with darker colors. You couldn't do that before. So, I mean, they had the whole marker thing, and then you can do it with your breath. But this thing, you know those stamps that has 3 different layers or 4 different layers that you multi-layer it on? Right here. This is it. This is the thing you want. And again, I have my big one like the Martha Stewart, and the small one like the Martha Stewart one. And I got to tell you, I have more issues with that than I have with this. Again, it may be light on some of them because I didn't put the pressure down. But that's all right because it always goes back to that spot as long as I line it up. Tape is suggested if you want to just do a certain part of it, especially when you're doing die cuts with the inks. When you're doing that and you're trying to get it lined up right, you put the die cut down, the one piece that you've already cut out, and then you put the stamp down on it. But you want to take a piece of tape to the piece that you cut out and tape it to a solid piece. And then you line it up, you put your stamp down on it, which is the greatest thing with clear ones. You line it up, you flip the MISTI open, and you tape this piece so it doesn't go anywhere because you already taped the center piece already on from the back. You put that little like wound piece of tape, or you can use your tape gun. Just enough to hold it. And then it's going to perfectly hit because you guys know that it's really hard to get those perfect. Not with the MISTI. Buy the MISTI. Buy the MISTI. I had no idea about this machine because I hadn't been keeping up with Child this last year. But thank you, Sonia, for this swap. I am absolutely in love with the MISTI. I highly recommend it. Highly. Like my new cutting board. I highly recommend both of them. Both of my tools. I got more that I will show you. And eventually I'll show you guys all at once so that if you guys want to just see them all at once and do little samples on each one of them. Or I'll just show you all my machines after I show you all of them single by one like this one. Go back and look at the one I have on my new Fiskars cutting board, which I got, I think, around January. So you should be able to find it there. But even with me showing you my boo-boos, that was my boo-boos, not this. It's my boo-boos. So, again, here is being flipped over 3 times, and this is being flipped over twice. So, look how cool that is. And it came out just as good as if I had done it the other way. So, I did the little wishes, and I did Santa. So, enjoy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.